Welcome to Voice of the Inland Empire, your weekly adventure into the who, what, where, and why of our Southern California communities. And in our little coffee house today, we are joined by author Ira Lake, who wrote Messed Up and Don't Even Know It. Provocative title. If you've had any childhood trauma or know anyone who has and want to find out how that may be affecting your adult life, this will be a show you will not want to miss. Now, you can visit our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com, where you'll find a complete listing of all the times and days our show can be enjoyed, as well as an archive of past shows and guests. We have a wonderful show lined up for you, so don't go away. We will be right back. Is your radio station dull? Boring, more of just the same day after day after, then it's time for radio that will blow your mind and expand and enlighten it too. KCAA Radio 1050 AM is not only the go-to radio station for what's happening in and around the Inland Empire, it's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome, and a total convergence of cool. KCAA is not only the NBC News affiliate for our area, but offers the broadest and craziest range of national and local radio in the Inland Empire, with shows like Imus in the Morning, Dave Ramsey, Joyce Riley's Power Hour, Controlled Chaos, Poor Man, and now, Voice of the Inland Empire with yours truly. Check out 1050 AM at home or on the road, or you risk being the only one at work not talking about the fun, crazy, educational, outlandish, awesome things they heard on KCAA 1050 AM. And you wouldn't want that, right? Need a gift and don't know what to get? How about a one-of-a-kind custom gift basket? Looking for a corporate gift for your customers, associates, or employees? Are you a nonprofit or organization with a special event coming up? Bountiful Baskets has custom and stock gift baskets for every occasion and budget. Corporate gifts, wine and beer baskets, table centerpieces, balloon decorating, custom ribbon, and more with local delivery and nationwide shipping. Call 909-608-2131 or online at thebountifulbasket.net. It is that time of the show when we say hello to today's guest, and we are joined by author and PhD candidate Ira Lake, who has written Messed Up and Don't Even Know It. And clearly this book was not meant for me because I'm messed up and I really do know it. But that's probably going to be another whole book writing. Messed up and you do know it. But Ira, no, seriously, I read this from cover to cover. In fact, in one sitting, I couldn't put it down. It was that good. But before we get into the content of the book, I'd like to share with our viewers and listeners a little bit about you and your background and what brought you to that moment in time when you said, I need to put words on paper.
Well, I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. And by the way, I'm glad to be here with you today. Born and raised in Chicago, and my mother and father were divorced at an early age. I was 2 years old. My father got custody of us, and so most of my childhood was spent between babysitters and what parent had the custody rights, and it was a mess. My mother was extremely abusive, physically, verbally, emotionally, and I grew up like that. I learned how to fend for myself, how to protect myself emotionally, but I never really understood what was going on. But I also knew that every relationship, friendship that I had, I kind of didn't give everything. I kind of held back. Mm-hmm. And that's the story of my life.
And part of the problem is, as a child, you don't necessarily know that the environment that you're being raised in isn't good or isn't healthy or isn't right. It's all you know.
Correct.
And you start developing coping mechanisms to deal with it that can then, as we'll learn from your book, have some long-term repercussions in your life.
Yes, yes.
So you went through this kind of bumpy childhood, kind of was always holding back from relationships. What happens next?
Well, my father was an educator, and so he pushed education on us, on all my siblings and myself. So I graduated from high school, and I felt God's calling to go into ministry, pastoral ministry. So I go off to a small private college in Huntsville, Alabama to pursue ministry. And my father said to me, I want you to take a double major because people aren't just getting preaching jobs. So I want you to prepare yourself in the event that you don't. I'm glad I did. I followed his advice. So I have a degree in theology and sociology.
Nice.
When I finished school, I didn't get a call into pastoral ministry. My job was a social worker for the state of Arizona. And I began working with substance abuse clients in a halfway house. And then the state said, well, I want you to get other training. And so they put me in with troubled youth who were locked up for crimes that they were too young enough to go into full penitentiary, but they needed to be locked up. And so I worked with them for 6 months. And then the state says, well, okay, well, we want you to now further your training. So I work with senior citizens. We formulated the first adult daycare program in the state of Arizona.
Well, that must have been just a mega jump from these highly troubled, incarcerated youth to senior citizens.
Oh, I was on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, night
I
and
go
day.
from watching my back to now I can sing, and sing and tell stories with the old folks. And
Right.
I enjoyed it. It was great
Oh, I
training.
bet it was wonderful. And so you went through all that, and then what happened next? You got married. When did you start realizing that your childhood trauma was affecting your adult life?
I got married 2 years after college, and right away I realized something is not right. It should have been the most happiest time of my life, and I was scared. I was scared emotionally to let somebody in this close, and she wasn't going anywhere. And as she was trying to bring me in, I can't trust you. But you camouflage that with staying busy. And before you know it, years can go by and you're in a relationship where you're not growing together, you're growing like this. And that's where I found myself.
So at what point did you start thinking about counseling people that had childhood traumas and actually start thinking about writing a book?
After doing a stint as a social worker, I finally got a call into pastoral ministry. And so 4 years after college, I'm now associate pastor of a large church in Los Angeles. And from the beginning, people were coming to me, telling me their problems, and I was able to kind of sort through the stuff and help them get on track. And it just came natural. And my mentor said to me, man, you have the gift of counseling. You need to expand on that. And so I went to school at the Adventist Seminary to do the theology training, but also was doing a master's in counseling because that's where it seemed like my ministry was taking me. I still hadn't put all the pieces together. All I know was I'm helping people, but I'm still being troubled myself with my own stuff. And I felt like a hypocrite because I'm teaching one thing and helping them, but in my own life, I'm all over the board.
So that was kind of your aha moment. So we're going to take a brief break, but when we come back, I want to get into what you did next. It's always the toughest thing for any person to realize to accept, take responsibility for our issues. That's the toughest step, but the next one is deciding to do something about it, and you did. So if you want to hear the rest of this story, don't go away. We will be right back. Not sure where to go or how to start? Want to make sure you get the best mattress for your money and one that will give you years of sleeping pleasure? There's only one answer, and that is Dreamland Discount Mattress in Covina. At Dreamland, Bruce and his dedicated team will ensure that you find the right mattress at the right price that will give you years of sleeping comfort. Dreamland Discount Mattress offers a wide range of options, styles, and choices, all at up to 80% off. Want to hear what many of their customers are saying about them? Check them out on Yelp to learn why you should become a satisfied customer of Dreamland Discount Mattress too. Go by and visit them at 1007 North Azusa Avenue in Covina, or give them a call at 626-331-8044. And remember, at Dreamland Discount Mattress, prices are always up to 80% off.
If you can think it, we can ink it at Patterson Print Shop. From embroidery to printing too. Signs, banners, t-shirts, that's what we do. Anything that you can imagine at Patterson Print Shop, we make it happen. If you can think it, we can ink it at Patterson Print Shop. Call us today at 951-924-2332 or visit pattersonprintshop.org.
We are back, and you are watching or listening to Voice of the Inland Empire. And for all of the times, places, and days the show can be seen and heard, please check out our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com. Today we are talking to Ira Lake, a PhD candidate and author of Messed Up and Don't Even Know It. And Ira, when we left the last segment, you had just had an aha moment, because to a degree you were messed up and didn't know it until you were fortunate enough to say, you know what, my life is kind of a train wreck and maybe I have something to do with it.
I'm with a client, a couple, and their stories mirrored my childhood. The light bulb came on, and I said to myself in the middle of the counseling, and I almost blurted it out loud, I said, man, this is me. I better get some help. And I immediately went to counseling, found a professional counselor, spent 6 years in counseling, dealing with my childhood, the emotional trauma, and I lost my marriage, the first marriage. But through that, I was able to find my own healing. And the counselors at one of our last session, she said, you have a story, you need to share it. Well, I wasn't really comfortable sharing it, but as I began to do counseling with other people and couples and individuals, I started realizing that I had their stories if I got their permission to share. And so that's what I did. I began working with couples and individuals in crisis, and a lot of their stuff came back to their childhood trauma. And so I decided I wanted to write and share some small case studies about some of the things that I've discovered in the counseling setting from myself and from them. And with their permission, they said, change our names, you can use our stories. That's how we got the book.
And I think you can't read this without picking bits and pieces that apply to you. Mm-hmm. And some people had great childhoods, but even the best of childhoods have some level of trauma somewhere along the way, even if it's just the kids at school picking on you. But we tend to carry that with us. And like you say in the book, we create these strategies for dealing with those traumas, which are very effective at the time,
yes,
but are not real fruitful in the adult world. And when you start sitting with someone counseling and you find they've got these traumas, what are some of the strategies that you suggest at minimum for awareness and at maximum to start changing their views and perceptions of the world?
Two things I tie in right away. I got to create a safe place so they can tell their narrative, their story. And then number two, I got to connect them with a larger group, support group, because people feel isolated. They think that they are the only ones going through this. Yep. And as soon as you connect them to a support group, they go, wow, I can relax now. They've been hurt like I've been hurt. So those two things I try to do immediately: safety, a safe environment, and then a support group that they can tie into.
I love that. And that's something that almost every one of these case studies ended with. So of all of the stories in here, share with our listeners one that was the most poignant for you.
Grace is the one that just stands out. No, I'll take Esther. Esther had been sexually molested or attempted by her brother-in-law. He would creep into the room. They lived, the bedrooms were adjoining. He would go into her bedroom, his wife would be sleeping, her sister. She'd be in the bed with her two nephews. They were poor. And he would go in and try to physically touch her, molest her. She started going over to the other side of the wall to kind of make it hard for him. And he would reach over his boys to try to touch her. And when the truth came out, he denied it, the sister denied it. And so she lived for years with this fear of being touched and in the dark by herself. And she's still going through
And that
it.
doesn't bode well for a relationship, I imagine.
No, and she's afraid to let people in because she thinks somebody's gonna harm her. So that's the one story that just stands out.
And how did that story wrap up for her, as far as you know?
Well, we got her into a support group, and we put her in a situation where she could tell her story, and we began to help her to see that it was not her fault. She had nothing to do with this. She was innocent.
And a lot of people, for whatever reason, place the blame or the guilt on themselves, don't they?
Yes, all the time. Even when parents are divorced, the child somehow thinks that he or she is responsible, and you're not responsible. That's what happened to me. I realized that I was not responsible for the actions of my mother. She was responsible. And when I allowed myself to realize that, I had a breakthrough.
Well, I love it. And if someone wants more information on you, your ministry, or your book, how do they get it?
Well, they can go to Amazon.com. They can go under my name, Ira Lake, or they can look up the title, Messed Up and Don't Even Know It. They can get it there. Or they could go to my website at imtasik.org, and they can get it there as well.
And learn more about
Learn
you
more
and,
about
and
me.
what you do.
Yes.
Well, this has been a fascinating discussion, and I wish you well. There are so many people that carry so much baggage from their childhood that is affecting their adulthood.
Yes.
And hopefully you're helping them one person at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ira. Don't go away. We have more yet to come.
Business owners, are you overwhelmed when it comes to tracking your finances? Most business owners don't realize there are 3 different right ways to enter the same transaction into QuickBooks. One right way will work well for a business and owner. A second right way will work poorly, while a third right way will work okay, but not well. I am Linda QBQ Russell, the QuickBook Queen, and I help you choose the best right way for your business. I do custom QuickBooks setup. Together we find the quickest, easiest way to enter data that provides you accurate financial reports. These reports guide you to grow your business more profitably. I just started my free online tutorials to help more startups and new QuickBooks users. Sign up now at qbqueen.com and QuickBooksFreeTutorial.com. Let's get started now. We are back at the Bountiful Basket in Upland, as we are each week, joined by owner Marilyn Taylor. And Marilyn, we've talked a lot about gift baskets and balloons and all of that as gift giving, for our personal needs. But you do a lot of corporate things as well. Gifts that can be given to employees, to vendors, to customers. In fact, you mentioned this is a hotel amenity package?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this.
Well, we have several hotels that they will refer us when they are booking packages for conferences to come in, maybe at the DoubleTree or someplace around where they're doing a convention or they're doing a trade show, and they have people staying at that hotel. So this would be a nice little goodie just to have in their hotel room.
I'd love to come into the hotel room and find that. And then this looks like, because I see this is branded with a business's name.
Yes.
Tell me, what is this?
This is just a little candy box, but it has their event on it, and it has their company name and has the event when it happened, and just little candies.
So it's like a little place serving,
yes.
Something you can put. That is awesome. And
a little takeaway gift.
Then what about these?
These are also amenity gifts. And they're just different price ranges of gifts. Now this is a box that we actually stamp on our hand stamper, and it's just, we appreciate your referral.
Oh,
this
nice.
This is a great item for car dealerships when they're giving the keys to a new car. and we can stamp on there, congratulations on your new car.
Can you stamp almost anything on
We
there?
can stamp pretty much anything.
Wow.
That's kind of neat.
So if I was to do this, I'd have, we appreciate your referral, and then inside, a nice piece of paper that says, keep them coming.
Yes.
Now I should probably put a gift
Well, you
inside,
need
right?
some goodies in there. You
Okay,
need
all
some
right.
goodies there.
And then this looks cool. What is this?
This is
Cheese?
this is a tempered glass, what we call a wine bottle tray, and you can see that it's decorated on the other side.
Nice.
But it's got cheese, crackers, a little spreader, and it's like a mixer gift. So when when you have to show up at some place with a gift, this is now also a nice little hostess gift.
Yeah, that's a great idea too for people that are involved in chambers or any of these other networking organizations, or from time to time you want to give a gift. These are awesome, and they stamp their business card on it, and
Exactly.
you're good to go. So if someone wants more information how they can utilize their services to help their business, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at my website, which is thebountifulbasket.com. My address is 1296 West 9th Street in Upland, and my phone number is 909-608-2131.
All right. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I love the Citizens Business Bank Arena, and there is always something great going on there. But right now, season tickets are available for the Ontario Reign and the Ontario Fury. For the Ontario Reign, this is an all-new AHL season, and you can get tickets by calling the box office at 909-941-7825 or visiting their website, ontarioreign.com. For the Ontario Fury, their season tickets are also on sale at 909-457-0252 or email info@ontariofury.com. Now, coming up September 12th, Summer Cool Down Concert. Enjoy the legendary sounds of the Dramatics, the Stylistics, Evelyn Champagne King, the Originals, and Five Tempting Men, hosted by 104.7 Jimmy Reyes and comedian E.L. September 18th, Five Finger Death Punch and Papa Roach. These two bands are both known by their fans and press alike for having killer live shows, and they've come together for the first time. That's going to be a killer show by two. October 4th, Newsboys. Christian rock and pop stars Newsboys return to the Citizens Business Bank Arena. It's going to be a show not to miss. And the Los Angeles Lakers are coming back in October as well. There is always so much to do at the arena. Check them out at cbbankarena.com. We are joined, as we are each week, by Bruce Burnett, owner of Dreamland Discount Mattress and our local drug, alcohol, addiction recovery expert. That's
Pretty
a long
much.
title.
It is. It is pretty much.
And you've got a great podcast, recovery101.com, or on
.net.
iTunes. I'm sorry, .net, recovery101.net, or up on iTunes and on Facebook. So I wanted to ask you, when do you know the time is right to get involved? If you've got a loved one, a family member, a friend, because that's never easy.
Well, and the real tragedy is, as anyone would know that's been in this situation, is you're already involved. The thing is, and I think where you're going with that is, how do I get involved in helping this person? And there's no real black and white yes or no time to that. Usually it would be best for you to look at a group, a 12-step group like maybe Al-Anon or something, which is specifically set up to help families of alcoholics. There's Alateen for younger kids. There's Alatot for little kids. If you're going to get involved in, like the TV show Intervention was very popular. Everyone wants to do intervention. Well, you'll notice on the show, there is always 100% of the time a facilitator. This means don't go to your husband or wife when they're drunk and go in there and tell them, you're an alcoholic, you need to quit, because that's not going to end up well. So I would say look at getting some family help on the side, whether it be a counselor or a Al-Anon or something. And if you're going to do an intervention, make sure you do it with some kind of facilitator.
Yeah, because even in the best of scenarios, emotionally, it's tough. But like you said, the family is already involved.
Right.
And a lot of times, family and friends need to accept responsibility for their own emotions and feelings.
Absolutely.
In dealing with this, and not deny them or ignore them, because it can be as hard on the loved ones of the addicted individual as it is on the individual themselves.
And one thing I can tell you for sure, it's all going to change. That person that's been seemingly horrible lately, if they get sober, they're going to be just like you remember them before, maybe better.
That's good. So if someone wants to check out your show,
recovery101.net. It's also available on the iTunes network as Recovery 101, and you can find us on Facebook at Recovery 101 Radio Show.
all right, Bruce, thank you so much. Don't go away. We will be right back.
If you can think it, we can ink it at Patterson Print Shop. From embroidery to printing to signs, banners, t-shirts, that's what we do. Anything that you can imagine at Patterson Print Shop, we make it happen. If you can think it, we can ink it at Patterson Print Shop. Call us today at 951-924-2332 or visit pattersonprintshop.org.
What a great show. I so enjoyed chatting with all of our guests, and I want to thank you for tuning in and joining us. And please remember, set your DVRs so you never miss another episode of Voice of the Inland Empire. Want to watch us anytime 24/7? Then visit our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com, where you can also see the places, times, and days our show can be seen and heard. And if you visit our website, please drop us an email. We love to hear from you. If you have comments, ideas, suggestions, or maybe even a thought for a show guest, let us know. Our guests need to have topics of broad general interest and be non-commercial in nature. If you don't have access to the internet or just prefer the traditional way of contact, you can always call our Voice of the Inland Empire telephone hotline at 909-746-8846. So, until next time, this is Ron Stark reminding you to be productive, care for your world and the people around you, work hard, find time for fun, and always remember to give back whatever and whenever you can. Until next time, goodbye for now.